Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of If You Haven't, You Should. I am the Middle Management Gamer. If it's your first time joining us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell for new content as I drop it. And here we go with 5 reasons if you haven't played Milon's Secret Castle, you should. The first reason you should give it a go is it's from Hudsonsoft, the name you can trust. Although they're no longer with us, they had a career spanning over 40 years, and they were one of the first software developers to release third-party games for the Nintendo, starting with Lode Runner. They also had the wildly popular Bomberman series, which started in 1983 and had new iterations up until 2010 on the Xbox, as well as several spin-offs. They also had the wildly popular Adventure Island series. Often considered to be kind of a Super Mario Bros. Knockoff, you follow Master Higgins as he tries to rescue Princess Tina from an evil witch doctor. And any fans of fighting games would be familiar with the Bloody Roar series, whereas your fighter can turn into its token spirit animal in the middle of battle. Very fun. Reason number 2 to give it a go is it's a true underdog story with an unlikely hero in Milon. Milon comes from the land of Hudson, where all of the inhabitants are strangely musical and communicate using music. Milon has no musical abilities of his own and sets off to the castle to ask questions and to try to find out how he can become musical. When he gets there, he finds that the princess has been kidnapped and all the musical instruments have been stolen by an evil warlord. So Milon sets out to rescue the princess and get all the musical instruments back so that he can free Hudson from the terrible curse inflicted by the warlord. You will find that this is no easy task, as this is a castle full of secrets. When you begin, you find yourself outside of a door. You can enter this door as well as the other 2 doors and the window on the ground level. There's a shop and an empty dungeon-like room that you can enter. Once you collect the right items, that empty dungeon leads to a boss fight that will allow you to reach the 2nd level of the castle. From here, you can enter the subterranean well or any of the doors and windows on this level until you beat that boss, and allows you to move forward to the 3rd level of the castle, and so forth and so on. There's towers and turrets on the side as well as a throne room on the top. Inside the throne room is where you find the in-game boss and you can rescue the princess. Behind each door is a room, and each room is in itself a puzzle with blocks that you can destroy and hidden items. There are trap floors which fall apart, hidden passageways that lead into other rooms and shops inside each of these levels, as well as certain maze rooms that seem to just loop over and over again. Making your way through these puzzle rooms and through the various levels of the castle will not be easy, as there's tons of different monsters trying to stop you, which means you need to explore, collect, and adapt your playing style to the various items that you can collect throughout the game. Although this isn't a true Metroidvania, which you all know is my favorite style of gameplay, there are some similar elements, as you need to collect certain items to backtrack to open certain doors, but a lot of these items aren't required. Most of these items will be purchased at shops, and different shops have the same item for different prices, so you need to look around and be thrifty. There are hidden cash coins behind blocks, as well as the music box. Each one of the rooms you enter has a music box. The music box is found by striking your head upon the correct block. You'll have to look around to find them, as there's no real clue to where they are, but they are in the same place every time you play through the game, so once you know, you know. The music boxes are cool because when you get to the bonus stage, you get a break from the humdrum music that has been on repeat since you started. Each one of these rooms has a different song, and as you collect more music boxes, the song gets more complex. I look forward to these little breaks from the platforming. It's interesting to get to test your dexterity and your visual acuity by collecting the notes. For every 4 notes you collect, you get $1. I average about $11 per bonus room, but you can order a lot more. The first item you purchase is the potion. In purchasing it, it gives you a brief description of what it does. Shrink when you hit the glove. That is said glove right there, and there's one in just about every room. It allows you to shrink down and enter sections of the map that only a smaller person can enter. In order to exit the map, you must first find the door, which is hidden. In order to find the door, you have to shoot random space with your bubbles until you find it. Once the door is present, you also have to collect the key. The key will randomly appear in one of 3 locations on each map. Once you've learned the locations of the key, listen for the chime until it appears, and then you can exit the room. Once a certain condition is met, if you enter the window on the ground floor, you will encounter this dragon. He is the first of the Crystal Guardians. By firing the bubbles at his head rapidly and striking it multiple times, he will die, dropping his crystal. There are 7 Crystal Guardians spread throughout the castle. This first crystal allows you to advance to the second floor of the castle. As you advance farther in the game and defeat more of these Guardians, you'll be able to unlock greater levels of the castle, as well as stronger bubbles that'll fire faster and travel farther. You'll also be able to collect the 12 items that are hidden throughout the game. Not all are required to beat the game, but what is required is persistence, patience, and out-of-box thinking. Continuing is something that does not come easily either. You're not told in the game anywhere how to continue, it's only in the game manual. Once you've beaten the first Guardian, if you hold left and hit start, you will continue. You'll start at the bottom of the castle with everything you've collected so far and very little health. Harvesting health can only be gained by killing enemies or by purchasing it, however the price is really steep. $5 only gets you 2 cubes of health at the early stage in the game, as can see when I purchase it at this shop right here. That's not to say that Milon's Secret Castle doesn't throw you a bone from time to time. As you play through the stages, there are power-ups, the Hudson Bee for instance, hidden on the stage. If you shoot in the right location at the right time, the bee will appear. If you grab it, you'll get a force field, which is handy. You can never let your guard down when playing Milon's Secret Castle. If you step away, always pause, because sometimes you'll get attacked by a wandering thunderstorm. These lightning bolts will strike you even if you pass through a doorway. One of the other more frustrating mechanics about the game is jumping. Sometimes a jump that's easily made, 5 minutes later, you can't make at all. I should be able to make that jump easily. I should be able to make this jump easily, but for some reason, he's not making it. I spend so much time trying to make this jump that I get attacked by another wandering thunderstorm. But if you can get past these frustrations, i.e. the invulnerability, the jumping mechanics, and the slow ability to gain health, and take the time to truly unlock all of Milon's secrets, the game is truly satisfying. Learning that you have to A-B square, always be bubbling, shoot that bubble everywhere, so that when you unlock things like this paste, which makes invisible things visible, you'll learn later on that shooting your bubbles will make blocks appear. But if I didn't just run around just shooting everywhere all the time, I wouldn't have learned this. And just learning the patterns of the enemies, how they appear, where good places to harvest health are, and, basically what order I had to go into the rooms really gave me a satisfaction when I finally did get to the boss battle, which is also incredibly satisfying and tricky. The first time you encounter the boss, you might be able to one and done him and be good, or you may spend a lot of time shooting at him only to realize that it's not the true boss. They pulled our princess in another castle on you, and you're fighting a crow. But that's what this game's all about. It's about learning from the situations that are given to you. You could fight that decoy up to 3 more times, but there's a way of recognizing which decoy you fought before. If you go all the way back to the beginning of the game, stage 1, there's this gold block right here. You can shove it. It's apparent that you do something with that block. That's the opportunity for them to teach you how to advance. That's what I love most about this game. It's learning while playing it. If you don't learn right then, later on when you encounter this area, you won't know that you can shove that block to find a hidden shop. And without that shop, you don't get the spring shoes. And without the spring shoes, you don't fight the first boss. Thanks again for joining me, folks. I am, as always, the Middle Management Gamer. And remember, if you haven't played Milon's Secret Castle, you should. Good night.